no part of me was like, this is what I want.
Yeah.
I was just like, that's nice. Like, wow, impressive.
Genevieve Stokes.
Hello.
I'm stoked to see you.
Thank you. Oh, that was good.
That's pretty sick. The timeline I've written in my head about like your career so far is like releasing music, tell me if I'm wrong, releasing music on SoundCloud in high school.
Damn. You did some research.
Did one go really, viral on SoundCloud? Did one like really blow up on SoundCloud?
Surface Tension.
Yes.
Did really well on SoundCloud.
Yes.
But it was like very random. Like it was also on Spotify.
Right.
That was one of the first songs that I had released on like all platforms.
Okay.
And for some reason it just did really well on SoundCloud.
Did that, like, what doors did that open? Or was it kind of just put it out, got a lot of attention, and then you continue to grind? Or did it open a lot of doors?
It did. Over quarantine, I started to get put on like editorial playlists on Spotify.
Right.
And that was when like labels started to reach out and stuff. And it was really like surreal because obviously everything was shut down. And so I was like trying to process that things were changing, but I couldn't because I was just living at home.
Yeah, that's so weird. It's almost like the world inside your brain is expanding so much and you're literally so static.
Yes.
Like you can't leave the house.
And I just like, it was really exciting, but there was nothing like physically happening.
Yeah.
And so I knew that things were about to change. And I mean, it's been such a gradual process. Things aren't just like sudden. But that was one of the first moments where I realized that like I was like fully able to pursue music and it was going to be a lot bigger than just, you know, putting out voice memos on SoundCloud. So
was it like an exciting feeling or was it kind of more scary than exciting?
It was really scary. I think I just felt really like unworthy of it, or I was really terrified of like showing who I was. Like I'd always put music out and I'd always like thought of myself as a musician. The idea of like being a personality on top of that or being publicly just like seen in a public setting was really scary to me. And it took me years, and I think I'm still kind of struggling with that, to be okay with public perception. And because I don't know, I'm kind of like in high school I was like very socially awkward. And it was like even just public or like talking in front of a class was difficult for me. Like I'd be like shaking uncontrollably and like had a really hard time just making friends and and so I think it's just like a big wound for me when I was like when I started putting stuff out where I was like I am not going to be accepted and they're gonna figure out that I'm like weird.
Your music, I feel like it has like kind of like an eeriness to it and kind of like some type of like nostalgia that I can't really put my finger on. And I don't know if it's because like I grew up in New England and you're from New England. Yeah. It leaves such a specific mark on people. Yeah. I feel like growing up in New England, because it is like all those films where it's like dark academia and like things like that. For me, like I really feel like that in everything I do, as you can probably see by like the cannibalistic paintings besides us. But is that like a big inspiration for you in terms of like getting that kind of like dark edge to it?
Totally. I feel like a lot of it for some reason, I live at home right now, like with my parents, and we live in this house that was like made in the 1750s.
Yeah, I lived in a house in America that was from 1646.
Oh, wow. Yeah. No, so it's like, that was a huge influence, I feel like, growing up, is that we live in this really spooky old house with like a huge backyard. And I spent so much time there with my siblings, just like creating like fantasy worlds. And I feel like as I've gotten older, instead of like outgrowing that, I've kind of wanted to like lean into that more and like just like the whimsical feeling and like the darkness of Maine has become like a huge inspiration. And I just feel like that Maine is just shown in kind of like a sterile way sometimes when there's such a dark history. And I mean, there are a lot of like depictions of Maine in a dark way. And I just love like adding to that world because it is so real. Like it's such a distinct feeling when you're there and like on the beaches and it's like so rocky and dark and like it's one of my favorite places, and I love kind of like expressing myself through where I live, you know? And like
how was opening up for role model
It was great.
Like, how did he ask? Or did he ask?
He did ask, and it was like, I think he was sick the original show, and so he had to reschedule, and I guess his opener couldn't.
Oh, I saw that in his vlog. He was crying about it.
Oh yeah,
tears down his face.
Oh, he just reached out to my team, and it was like just out, like I was not expecting it at all.
Yeah.
And I also had very little time to prepare, but I was like, obviously I'm doing it.
Yeah.
That's like a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
And it ended up being so fun. Like I was so anxious the week leading up.
Oh my God.
And practicing, and I was like just imagining being in front of that many people, and I was like, I can't.
That's like unlocking a whole fan base, like fandom.
Yeah. And it's like when I pictured it, I was just like, no one's gonna like me. Like I just was like kept seeing their faces just like looking confused.
Yeah.
But then the day of, when I got there, like something unlocked in my brain, and I just felt like this really deep calm. And I remember looking, I went out for my sound check. I was just looking at the room, and it was completely empty, and I was like, I can do this. And not only can I do it, but I'm like excited to do it. And it had to be like, it just was so freeing to do something like that. And I felt like less self-conscious than I usually do performing. It was weird. Like I think it was the freedom of doing something scary and like new to me. And also his audience is so sweet. Like I realized that they weren't like judgy, mean. Like they were very open and very like, they just wanted to have a good time. And yeah, it was great.
Did you see an uptick in like monthly listeners, or like, I don't know if you track those metrics, but like, did you see an uptick in anything after performing? Like, I'm just curious about that, 'cause I feel like there would be.
Maybe I didn't check that, but I got a lot of comments and DMs after, and like maybe follows. I can't remember, like, but just a lot of really nice messages from people. Yeah, and that was very like affirming to me. And it's just like, it was a whole different universe, like going into that green room, and there's like there was like an arcade in the center of the room. Like there was like a shuffleboard and like all of these games and stuff, and then there were like all of these separate rooms off of like the main room. Yeah. Oh, so it was like serious a shower business. And, like, I was like, this is crazy. I usually go in and it's like the shittiest. It's like room. A moldy room. It smells like shit. Like it's so small and like gross. And I was like, this is a completely different life, and which was exciting, but it also was like, I don't crave that. I was realizing like it wasn't like, oh, I want this so bad. Yeah. But I was like, that's awesome. Like it's really impressive and exciting to be able to be at that level, but it's not something that like I'm aspiring to like in my career. Like I think what I want is just a really true fan base of people, however big that is, that I can just like do this forever. And I don't know if that would be like a stadium sized place, that'd be great, but also if it's like a smaller room with like really intense listeners or people that like really care. I don't know. It's just like, I don't know what my priorities are, to be honest, but I'm just realizing they're not. Yeah. I get that. I feel like it kind of, what I'm hearing is like for you, it's more about the connection that your music, well, first of all, it's about the music. Yeah. And then second of all, it's about the connection that kind of like opens up with other people wherever they are in the world, as opposed to like kind of like that ego aspect where it's like, oh, I want people to chant my name. I want to sell at stadiums. I want to do this, which is very eye-centric. Like for you, I feel like, and I've had this with other female artists specifically, where it's like the conversation is more about we. It's more about us. It's less about like just what I want from this. Yeah. And it's like, that's exciting to be able to do that. It's like a surreal experience, and to be around people at that level. But it's not, no part of me was like, this is what I want. Yeah. I was just like, that's nice. Like, wow, impressive. Good for you. Yeah, like, this is cool. Yeah, or like even for me, I was like, good for me. Like I'm here. Like, but it wasn't like, it didn't like light something up in me that I thought. I was like wondering what reaction I would have to doing something like that. And honestly, I played a show in London, and I was so excited. At that church, right? Yeah, at St. Pancras Church, and it was just like such a beautiful experience, and it was like an incredible space, and the people were so attentive, and like I talked to like 200 people, or not 200, it was like 100 people, but it was like that kind of show was so intimate, and it was just me with like a piano, and that was honestly more nerve-wracking to me than playing in front of like 5,000 people. And that was interesting, where I was like, but in a fun way, where I was like, oh, I'm like, it's nerve-wracking because it's such an intense, like, intensely intimate experience with these people that are just like listening so attentively. And that felt really in line with what I want to do. So
is there like a particular song on the album? And the album was made with a label, correct?
Kind of, yes.
Okay, kind of.
I mean, technically, yes. I mean, I had a really great team members, but then a lot of people at Atlantic got fired.
Right.
And that included my entire team. And so by the time my album came out, there was no one left from my original team to help promote it, and so no one did.
Yeah.
And I was left to promote it by myself. And then I got dropped. I mean, I loved making it.
Yeah.
And I'm really grateful that I had the money to just pursue music.
Right.
I think if you're Sabrina Carpenter,
yeah,
or if you're gearing up to become a Sabrina Carpenter kind of figure,
sure.
I don't know why I'm using her as an example, but
it's
that can be really helpful.
Yeah.
Where you have this team of people who are like crafting an image, and it's like really distinct, and the production and everything, like there's like a whole team of people behind it. But for me, I felt like I didn't really have room to just like become my own thing. And when I was signed, I was like 19 or 20, and I didn't really know myself yet. And then I think I started listening to a lot of different music and like realizing that I had different aspirations than I originally had. And through that process, I was like, oh, I don't think being on a major label makes sense for me. And I was just kind of writing it out and seeing what would happen. But now I'm chilling, and I'm happy, and I'm able to do things my own way, which is great.
What type of influences, or what type of things inspire you that people might not think?
Oh, I don't know. My stomach's making noises.
That's okay. You do what you need to do.
I don't know if people would be surprised by my influences, honestly. I think I got really into spirituality, like Buddhism. I learned a lot about Buddhism. Like, I love like Miyazaki films a lot.
Yeah.
When I was little, I was obsessed with like the Spiderwick Chronicles.
Oh my god, so was I.
Yes.
Yeah. So was I.
No, so influential. I literally had like a Spiderwick club at school.
No.
Where I would just bring people around and like just pretend like I would be like fairies live there.
Would you like write it in your notebook?
Like, why were people listening
green
to me?
wings.
Why was anyone following me listening to this? Like, we were like in 1st and 2nd grade, but I'm like still like I would go. I remember there was like rust on like a brick wall, and I remember telling people that it was like fairy blood and being like really dramatic about it. Like my whole life was just like crafting these like really whimsical like stories.
Yeah. Do you miss your childhood?
No.
No.
I don't. Do you?
No. That was dark. It was like dark.
I think childhood on the surface felt very magical to me. But I look back and I realized that was like a coping mechanism.
When you said that, I just thought to myself, I feel like, because I also tend to romanticize a lot of things, and I tend to find the magic in things, and I kind of like, I just want everything to be magical. And I think that is like the world building aspect, the fantasy aspect, the going into your back garden and thinking there's fairies everywhere. Like, it's completely a way to kind of escape what's actually going on. And
when I think about it, I'm like, that I don't really remember a lot of like what was actually going on.
Me neither.
And like, for instance, like I have a very disabled younger sister, and I feel like throughout my childhood my parents were always taking care of her, and me and my older siblings were like out in the backyard kind of detaching from like all of the like real life situations that were happening, and all of like the money struggle and like everything. It was like, I don't remember those things, even though I know that they were happening. All I really remember was being outside in my imaginary world with my siblings. And I still do that, I think, in my writing and in my day-to-day life. Like, I think it is a huge escape from the reality of like what's happening.
Yeah.
Or just the reality. But yeah.
But I guess like do you ever try talking to like your younger self in your music? Or does she kind of come out at all?
I think that that's a huge part of making music, is that it's like timeless.
Yeah.
Or like when you go into that place, it's not like I'm writing from a specific, or no, I am. I guess it depends on like what the song is about. But yeah, I think sometimes I do, like it allows you to access all of these different parts of yourself and just parts of like emotion in general that are like usually inaccessible to me. Like I think it's like a subconscious place, and a lot of the time I'll be processing things that I didn't even know I was dealing with. And I think that that's why music has been such a huge part of my life for so long, is that it is like, it sounds cliche, but it is like a form of therapy for me. Like it's like one of the only ways, and because I started writing songs when I was like 8 or 9, like I've always used it as a way of like understanding myself and processing things. And sometimes it's like embarrassing after, because I'll listen to something and I'm like, oh my God, I was so dramatic in that song, or like that was not how I actually felt. Like that's like, but then I think about it and I'm like, when you actually tune into the emotion, it is that big of a deal to you in the moment, even if it's like, you know, it's like an exaggerated version of it. It's like a little part of you feels it so intensely. And I think giving yourself space to experience the entirety of that like emotion is so important, and able like in order to move on. And yeah, I think I've definitely written songs that have like brought me back to like a very fragile, like childlike place, and it can be really helpful.
Well, Genevieve Stokes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming stargazing with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
In my fort. I had a great time.
I love this fort.
Me
I
too.
don't want to leave. I'm so cozy right now.
You can stay here forever. We can bring it to Maine.
Okay, please.
I'll live with you in Maine, and we can just lie here.
This would be nice in my backyard, obviously.
Yeah.
We could do like some real.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We could. Oh, some real.
Some real. Sorry. There are definitely stars above us right now, actually.